can't escape from the team called the morning steam. It's time to break, run for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the morning steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money. You know how we do it.
And a pleasant good morning to you from the sports betting capital of the world, Las Vegas. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to the Morning Steam Show for Wednesday, October 23rd. Sports money is money. We get ready for a big NBA Wednesday after our wild action on the ice last night. Who tuned in to the Frozen Frenzy yesterday with the NHL nonstop action all night long? I think I finally got to bed there for after that final game. It was running a little bit late, and the Vegas Golden Knights held that big lead last night over the Kings. So I don't know. I'm checking the final score right now, if you know what I mean. Anyway, Kings got rocked by the Knights. My Kings, 6-0, 6-1 here in Las Vegas last night. And, of course, we had some other action as well yesterday. The NBA underway with the Los Angeles Lakers and LeBron James and, well, his son. It was a big story, and I'm kind of down on the people who are giving the reverse. I don't always want to be that guy that wants to stand out from the crowd, but I'll take a position, now and then just to rile up people. The popular consensus is, it was not as big a moment as some people might portray it to be. A man with his son on the court maybe, didn't earn his way there necessarily, but you can't deny the young man was playing in an NBA basketball game with his dad. You don't see that every day. 4 times we've seen pro athlete families play together at the same time. So I'm okay with it. I know the whole circumstances. I think it is a big deal because you just don't see that in society today. I would imagine we'll get it again here in the future sometime, the way athletes take care of themselves. It's because of LeBron's great fitness that they're able to do something like that. Just want to use my best friend here, Dave Dickens, and his statement here about one of my favorites of all time. So I think it's a great place to start this morning and talk about El Toro, Freddie Valenzuela, man. I don't know. Some people caught some people by surprise. You guys here on the show remember when I mentioned about 2 weeks ago that Fernando was sick and really wasn't talked about too much in the media. Maybe out of respect, maybe out of the fact that we just didn't know, but I think we knew. And Fernando passing away at 63. You could see the changes in his physical appearance over the last few months. He'd been ill for the better part of the summer, certainly. But, man, the first great Mexican player, honestly, in a community that was torn apart, the Mexican-American community torn apart by the building of Chavez Ravine. Before that, it was like almost coming full circle a little bit that Fernando came into such prominence. Anybody who knows about the fight for Chavez Ravine, that's what it was called. And, the Dodgers eventually won that battle, but many communities, many families were broken up by the dismantling of the community, the area that Dodger Stadium was built on. But when Fernando came to town, man, the young Mexican player, it just was sent magic. The look to the sky and the wicked screwball that you just could not hit. Some of the great things about Fernando Valenzuela, not only obviously a young pitcher pitching in the World Series, coming to prominence as a 19 and 20-year-old, but man hit 200 in the major leagues. One year he had 11 RBIs and just 67 at-bats. Fernando Valenzuela was a natural-born talent, and he didn't look the part, right? He looked, like some of the players of the past, some of the old school players of the past with his physique. Remember, he didn't speak any English, similar to some of the great talent of today, but he didn't speak any English either and needed a translator every time for many years. Didn't even learn to speak English until basically the end of his career and even beyond that. And he became a great broadcaster as well. But Dave mentioned here, he was a Dodger. He was also a Padre. He was with the Padres and helped guide them to the second ever postseason appearance. Just pitched a couple of innings in the postseason, not even that with the Padres, but certainly had his glory with the World Series. They had a name for it, Fernando Mania, and anybody who lived through it, man, knew shit was real. Really captivated the audience for weeks with the start of his rookie season. For example, he was 8-0 with 5 shutouts to start his career, and he wasn't using any steroids or anything, man. He was probably using some high-quality food, if you know what I mean. So I really love Fernando Valenzuela, man, and I guess I still do. Choking me up a little bit. I have to cry on this show like once a week. I'm so soft, but I really did like Fernando Valenzuela, man, and like I said, we knew that he wasn't doing too well and wasn't going to be long, I guess. I just, when we saw it last night, everyone came to grips with it. And like I said, not everybody knew, I think, that Fernando was not doing too good. So it did catch some by surprise. But, man, he was a special talent. You think of what Ohtani did, this year even, and yeah, he's been around the block. He's had some great success. What Fernando did was a sensation. All right. Thanks for joining me here today for the morning steam. A little bit of breaking news here overnight, or I don't know. I think it, I set my alarm. I got a relatively easy schedule there and got up a couple hours ago, get ready for the show. And, well, the ESPN blew up in the middle of the night. Not a huge news, but the Chiefs did make their move to pick up DeAndre Hopkins. D-Hop is traded to the Chiefs. Pretty good addition there for a team looking to win the Super Bowl, and that'll help shore them up a little bit after they've had, some players go down here. So Chiefs pick up DeAndre Hopkins. I believe it's a 5th round or a 4th round, depending on maybe his success. I didn't look totally into it, but based maybe on his performance or participation. So that was kind of the other big news, I thought, here overnight. And we get ready for our big sports weekend here on a Wednesday with a huge slate of NBA action. We've got UFC action this weekend from Abu Dhabi with a hot main event with Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. Early start on Saturday. I did my preview with VB, with Dagestan Poppy yesterday, so please check that out here on YouTube. Just check out Ramon Scott VB MMA picks. You'll find me up there with my MMA partner, but we got some great MMA programming here on the Sports Money Network this weekend with the guys. They'll be here on Saturday for that live coverage of the card from Abu Dhabi, UFC 308. And we'll also have First Strike. The guys will get their top plays together here and record their show leading up to the weekend coverage. All right. We'll say hello to everyone in the chat after that. Thank you, Dave, for putting that in there today. And that's what I was going to lead the show off with. Certainly today, Mr. Vape has some action here in Euro League. I think I was looking at the Euro League card here today. Of course, we have Champions League, we have NBA, we have two in college football, college basketball. Watch out, we're going to be flying here soon in sports. But also, one problem with the Frozen Frenzy is now we got one game today in the NHL, but that's okay. We'll deal with it to get our start to the NBA season. A little bit tricky, right? With last night's games, we saw the Lakers, of course, do a really good job, man. Hey, so far so good for JJ Redick. He looked the part. He played the part, if you will. I thought JJ Redick was actually a bit of a factor in the game for the Lakers last night. I thought they really did a nice job, because you look at the personnel the Lakers put out there. Once they got past once they got into the bench, it was a little sketchy. But Reeves is fine. I say Reeves on the bench, not he's the starters, but I'm just saying the way the mix of the players that he was working through there, I thought it was a pretty good job by the Lakers, actually. And I'll be looking forward. I'm putting a small up arrow on the Lakers there last night. And they'll have some issues for sure. And Minnesota obviously might be a step down now without Cat. I was expecting a little bit better action from them, quite frankly. So, all right, in the other game last night, of course, Boston Celtics. You want to crown their butts right now? I mean, man, it doesn't seem like this team. It feels like they're going to be a 70-win team easily here right now, as they rocked against the Knicks. Never a contest, really, last night. Great job, Team Steam, 2-0 last night for you guys there. I took the Wolves as my premium play in that nightcap. We did have the Celtics, of course, as our premium play yesterday here with my picks over at Winnable. Anyway, Mr. Vape has got to play for us in Euro baskets here. There's one game, I think, in Euro League today. It's Belgrade going up against Bologna. And I think I did have, let's see, Mr. Vape says first quarter -1.5, first half -3.5. The line in the game is 8 currently, and the total is 164.5. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Mr. Vape's plays there, and I'm also going to add the over in this one today. So I'm going to team up with Mr. Vape here for a little play. He likes the Pacers today. Thank you. Thank you to Marcus here today. Good morning and hello. Joe Alvarado is here today. And yep, we were talking about him because I knew, when you see the physical changes, but he actually, Freddie wasn't always the most, he was extremely handsome. I got to be honest, let's say it, Mexican man looked pretty, handsome, especially as he got older, with his glasses and everything as a youngster. Remember, he was about overweight. He had the perfect body for that screwball delivery, didn't he? But funny you mentioned that, Joe. Hello to Cliff Floyd. Hello. Robert. Hello. Our Toms. Hello. Great to see you. Thomas, thank you. I agree with all, I agree with that. Think of all the things that had to go into place. They even, the Lakers, maybe they didn't need to draft Bronny James. Nobody was going to probably draft him after that, but they didn't want to take a chance for any one-upsmanship. Nobody would have done it, I promise you, because why would you waste a draft pick on that? Because you could think you could get something out of the Lakers eventually. They probably would have just taken a year off, worked on Bronny's development, and re-entered the draft, I think. If that's how it works still with these rules. All right, Ziggy, hello. Nicholas Handy, thank you for saying Fernando's name in here. Chosen one. He likes Liberty here. First half team total today in their game against Kennesaw. First half team total over here against Kennesaw today. That line's getting up there, man. When you start to get to that 25.5 points here, we'll see what you guys are doing. And also, Fernando was breathing through his eye. He'd roll his eyes in the back of his head every single time, looking to the stars, if you've ever seen him. And Gold Glove winner as well. Like I said, the man could hit. He could flat out hit. He probably could never feel, he could field his position, but it was never, Fernando was used as a pinch hitter. That's how good he was. So, all right, Lando says Hopkins to the Chiefs here. And who is Gerardo? And, here's an argument, though. Who is the best? I think Fernando, greatest Mexican baseball player of all time. Fernando, Benny Castilla. You'd have to put Benny Castilla in there. I don't know where you'd go from there. Help me out. And let's see what else we have here. And Ziggy says the Bucks are a gift today in the NBA in that game against the Sixers. Oh wait, there's a plus 4.5 with the Bucks are favored by. Unless Ziggy might be on a bonus or something, or maybe Ziggy took the 4.5. That's what he might be saying. He took the 4.5 before the announcements of the players were out, when the Sixers were favored by 4.5 at several books to open. I think that's maybe what he means there. Ziggy's always early better, so he's going to get the best of the line, and maybe we could have projected that these guys could be out. We'll talk about the injuries today a little bit. Justin, hello. And Ziggy noting that Redick, everybody's a little bit critical of his, announcing a little bit, I think, when he was doing that. But he was living on the job in that, too. So that's the only deal, is you got a guy with not a lot of coaching experience. So, hey, Michael, let me know what's going on with that. I see Michael says he didn't get the picks. We certainly have had. No, there hasn't been any premiums released today, Michael, if that's the question. But hopefully I didn't see when you would. I'm trying to follow him. With all due respect, I can follow my sales here pretty closely. I only got about 180 of you signed up through the free packages or the paid packages. But there will be packages certainly today. But if it was yesterday before the action, please, I think you can get me through email when you subscribe. Even if you subscribe to the free packages, gang, you can bother me, no problem. So let's figure that out. I'll tack some extra days onto your package, Michael. If you missed anything, no problem. Well, Calvin here, and we were split, yesterday. So I'll just give you more days. That's the way I do it. I'm not out here to just from your participation. I appreciate you very much. But that frozen frenzy kept us in a deep freeze. We did have winners yesterday. UTEP, Louisiana Tech under premium pick winner. Sam Houston and Florida International, you guys, there was no doubt. I sat here. I must have sat motionless for 15 seconds. You guys were reminding me that I was looking at Florida International the day before, and I do see that. I have it in my notes too. But that line moved from 6 to 4, originally opening bigger. We know FIU now got the money, but you can see my perplexed look about this game, right? And, well, when you were sitting there at halftime and the game was scoreless, I think we all were perplexed what was going on in there. So I take my loss like a man here with that total over for sure. But what a bizarre game that was. Those guys, that first half looked like my social life. Very little scoring. So the Florida International and Sam was a bummer. The UTEP, Louisiana Tech, at least had some drama there at the end with UTEP and Louisiana Tech. And we flopped on the show in college football. Let's just face it. But we did have the premium pick winner there. Actually, hockey wasn't too bad. We had the Vegas Golden Knights yesterday. We had the Bruins Predators game to go under. We had the Jets and the Blues premium pick under. Red Wings Islanders premium pick on the under. Rangers puck line premium pick winner yesterday as well. And hey, great job, you guys, in the Champions League yesterday, and we'll preview the games again today off of yesterday's decent performance. How about Sub and I? How about Sub with that double play there, that parlay action that we had yesterday in the Bologna-Aston Villa game. Great job. I had a winner here on the show with Red Star and Monaco over the total. We also had VIP winner with Real Madrid Dortmund game to go over. Could you believe that game? 2-0 Dortmund leads and Real Madrid wins it 5-2. I took Dortmund on the show. Thought I was looking like a genius there early, but Real Madrid with 5 circles, baby. And we did have the pick, though, VIP pick to go over. We had VIP pick under in the PSG game, HPV. PSV also, we gave them out on the show here. We also had Lisbon on the show and under in the Lisbon Sturm Graz game in the VIP account. We had Arsenal game to go under here on the show. I had Girona yesterday in the game against Bratislava. So strong results, I thought, in the Champions League yesterday. All right. Hey, let's see here. Cliff was on the money line yesterday. And let's see what else we got. John Shaw, thank you, sir. Yeah, Ziggy, just be careful of this one. Maybe the book has posted a bad line. There's no doubt, Ziggy, the Bucks are favored in the game by 4.5. What's happened here is the Philadelphia 76ers are going to be without Paul George, without Joel Embiid to start the season right now. So that has downgraded the Sixers here tremendously. So just don't hit them too hard. I'd hate to see you get banned from a book. People are always like, hey, man, the book didn't pay me out. Hey, man, I got banned from this book. It's because they have a bad line here. And, you know, one argument is, this is where I got in a public argument on X with a famous high roller Bill Krakenberger. If you guys know who that is, he doesn't know who I am, but of course I know who he is. And I said, you know, it is on the player to know when it is an obviously bad line. And what I used to do, of course, like with some of the old books of the past, like the Greek.com, is you notify them. You say, hey, man, you got a bad line on there. The Greek, I used to get like $50 in my account to notify a bad line. So might be, like I said, could be a promotion. If it is a bad line, no doubt about it, that, you know, they're going to get, you know, hit a bunch of times. They're just going to refund the bet and say, hey, obvious bad line. Everybody knows that in this game, the Bucks are favored by 4.5. Some bettors will say, oh, I didn't know that. Well, if you didn't know that, then, you know, probably shouldn't be. But Ziggy knows everything. You know, Ziggy's our man. Ziggy's an expert player here, expert handicapper, no doubt about it. And let's see who else we got. And thank you to Marcus as well. And let's see what else here. MLooks, hello, MLooks today also. Oh, MLooks yesterday. Yeah, good job here from all of us yesterday here on the show. Great job. MLooks, he, of course, was on Aston Villa yesterday with me. All right. Oh, Robert McCormick. Man, you know, I was just watching the game there, Robert, and it was a nail biter last night, or just moments ago, right, with the game here with Guangzhou and Fujian and Guangdong, and it was a sweat. It was like it was riding it all the way, right? It lands on 224. I imagine some people didn't get the best of that line. It was only going down. Well, you said you got it 224.5. Okay, yeah, I see it there. So my line was bad, and I got beat on that. I think maybe everyone, but it was quite the sweat. And I've started my coverage of Chinese basketball. I try to pick, kind of square. Try to pick the games that are going to be on big FanDuel TV shows. A CBA game quite frequently. Usually they choose one of the games on each card and show it as the featured game. It won't always be that, or I might have multiple plays in the CBA. It's one of my favorite leagues because, well, the games are on, quite frankly, when I prepare for the morning steam. So been watching more Chinese basketball over the last couple of years since I've started this show. All right, that's it from you guys in the chat. You can say hello again one more time before we get rolling here on the show. But first, I want to tell you about what some of the folks are talking about here. I do have some other plays available at winnable.com. I have a free subscription. You can get plays from me sent directly to your phone, hopefully. And we'll try to figure it out with my man in the chat. And no, I'm not getting. I've had a few people say they aren't getting everything from Winnable. It seems fairly solid technology, but there could be a little bit that I could work with you on the end. But it's a very widely used platform. So check me out over at winnable.com and get my premium picks for just 67 cents a day, $20 a month, or you can get a short-term package as well with my plays. For example, today I'll have card in NBA basketball. We'll also have some college football and a hockey pick as well, and I'll have some Champions League after yesterday. You better believe it, with our VIP selection. So check me out over at winnable.com. There are multiple packages available, flexible payment options. If you want to get that 1 year with me, it's $100. Usually between, on a short card, maybe 3 to 5 plays, a couple of updates. For a big card, man, on last Saturday, we had 21 plays. I think maybe it was 24, but, on our afternoon card, if anybody had that afternoon action in college football last weekend, we rolled a 6-1 with some of the biggest games in college football. So check me out over here. It's no obligation, man. Just click the QR code in the corner. I'm here every day giving you a couple of hours worth of picks, previews, whatever we want to talk about. But you can continue to ride with me and follow my action over at winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off all premium pick packages. I used to charge $25, $35, $45 for just 3, 5, 7 plays maybe. And now you get all my action here at winnable.com. Appreciate you listening to that. I'm a paid tout, baby. All right. And we'll get rolling here with the show. Guillermo Zertucci Guillermo just crushing it again in NFL right now. Chat room legend right here, Guillermo Zertucci. All right. And let's get started with our previews. Today we're going to, of course, give it right to the top of the board in the National Basketball Association, man. Of course, we got a big card here to start the season. Yeah, last night was the opening of the season with a couple of standalone games, but now we're into the bulk of it, and we've got games lined up and ready to go here on Wednesday. And maybe we'll take a look a little deeper here at the lineups. We don't have a huge card, so we kind of look at all the teams a little bit, maybe see what matchups are available here as well. So appreciate everyone joining me here today. All right. And I ordered, hey, we're going to have to win. I've ordered a new computer. I can't stand this noise anymore on my main work computer. So just bear with me for a week or two, and maybe grab a week of package with me to help me out, because I can't stand it no more. All right, call it up here. Get ready for our coverage with the Pacers and the Pistons here in this one. The Pacers on the road here, favored to open the season at the Pistons. And this, to me, so far, probably the three teams that are getting the most attention here from handicappers today. The Pacers are certainly one of them. But I don't know. I think on the road here, maybe it didn't work out last year like we thought for the Pistons, right? I thought we were expecting a little more development from them, a little better improvement, and just never seemed to come down. But man, with Cunningham, with Ivy, with Jalen Duren, you'd think these guys could start to turn it around eventually. Pacers will send a good lineup out there, certainly, with their superstar, Halliburton. I saw that IG video. He had some friends with him in a hotel room. I don't know if that was old. I think that was an old video, but that was making the rounds here over the last 24 hours or so. Also, Siakam and Miles Turner still getting it done as well. But I don't know. It might not be anything less than a neutral matchup here as far as the spread is concerned, of the Pacers favored by 4.5 here, and the total 235. The widely reported steam came in on the over in this game. Now, this is the highest, I believe, the highest total. So it's a deep breath, because I'm kind of in the position of, I want to see one first before I start getting involved in any overs at 235. But maybe much like the NFL, the games that are really highly lined on the total probably has a chance to make it go over. There's the Pacers and the Pistons back there. I see it right there. Can't move my arm. So the under has come in 8 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams at Detroit. And Detroit was a pretty steady under at the end of the season last year. But here at the beginning of the season, I'm not so sure. I think this is going to be probably close to the over. I'm kind of leaning towards the side as a premium, and I don't know if I trust the cappers. You guys are ready to go in the chat. Let's go with the Pacers and the Pistons. Am I lying is here. It says this was more about the Knicks last night than it was about the Celtics, is what it sounds like Am I Lying is saying there. And I can't necessarily disagree with, that is certainly for Knicks fans. I don't know if you saw the letter the guy wrote to his wife on Twitter, on X yesterday, basically saying that, we don't have much of a family or relationship when the Knicks games are on. Just leave me alone. But, you might want to rethink that. All right, a few more here. We've got Calvin says he likes the Hawks and the Nets to go over. Calvin also likes the Rockets today. John Chow gets us started with this game. He's on the Pistons here. Calvin's giving us all his plays, so thank you for that. Looks like Calvin wants to get his plays off here. Maybe he has to take off. Ziggy on the Pistons here as well. We got some Pistons support. Calvin says Pacers going to eat it up here, lay those points on the road. I show handicappers a 6-to-1 ratio so far on the Pacers here. All right, let's see who else. Let's see. Calvin says Bucks easy. Talking about the Bucks game now. Am I lying? Says Pistons first quarter here in this one. Fernando likes the over here. I will show Calvin so nice to give us all his plays. I'm not gonna leave him hanging. Robert McCormick says he likes Siakam here in this one. I think it's a tough matchup. You're going to be mixing it up here with Tobias Harris a little bit, but I get you. I feel you. Justin likes the Pistons team total to go over. Chad likes the Pistons here at home in this one. Julian D, hello and welcome, Julian D. If I haven't shouted you out or seen you in here before, thank you for making a point to make your pick here with us. Pacers, team total over. Thank you. Tariq here, Pacers. He wants to wait and go live. And Chad's ready for the NBA season, baby. That's for sure. We're finally here. And M looks, I'll tell you what, our chat really leans to the Pistons here. How about that? I don't know if it was consensus here, but I'm going to take the over. It's a lot of points, man. I'm not going to give it out first day, maybe to go over here, but I would think in this one, I like some of the complimentary players, complimentary starters. I would kind of classify them here to pick up their, to beat their projections here. Because I'm not so sure. I think Halliburton, he might get his numbers. I don't know if he will, but I like Nembhard for sure. I like Naismith for sure. I like Jalen Ivey, and you know who else I think might be able to get over his averages is Malik Beasley in this one. So I think what you might see is a complement of double-digit scorers here in this one today. So I'm a little bit down on Halliburton and Siakam in this first game. And if the Pistons win, I will say it is because they do not get the right production, the best production from those two star players on the team. So Pistons, look, there's no doubt that's where their weaknesses lie, is stopping anybody sometimes. But, you know, Cunningham can improve defensively, get up in Halliburton there a little bit, and also I think, you know, Harris obviously on guys like Siakam. So, okay, I think that's it from you guys. Chad had his other plays here, it looks like. Thank you, Chad. AOD says Detroit basketball. And that's it, I think, for this game. So I'll take the over here in this one, and we're underway in the NBA. Tariq likes the Pacers team total over. Next up, well, the Brooklyn Nets are going to take on the Atlanta Hawks in opening night action in Atlanta. We got the Hawks here favored by 7 or so, maybe 6.5. There's some 6.5s out here a little bit right now for sure. So let's see what happens tonight when the Hawks host the Brooklyn Nets. It should be a interesting matchup for the Hawks. I got some players that I think could excel here tonight. The Nets, they only seem to be going backwards. Yeah, the Cy family just won the WNBA title, but it doesn't feel like they're doing anything to make this team any better right now. You know, they already took a splash over the last couple of years. Remember when they hired the big three that turned out to be a big bust, right, in Brooklyn. So now you've got this roster, you know, with Claxton, with Cam Thomas. You know, no problem with Cam, but it just doesn't feel like the Nets. They might be one of the worst right now, and you know they could get some players back, but right now, I'm rooting for the Nets because I'm a big Joe Tsai fan, quite frankly. I wouldn't mind seeing the Nets pack up and head west, if you know what I mean. But the Nets here missing Bogdanovich to start the season. Claxton does have a hamstring, but he's probable. Clint Capella for the Hawks is probable here in this one. Brooklyn has actually won 4 out of the last 5 games against the Atlanta Hawks and covered the spread in all 5 of those meetings. But, man, I just don't know if I'm trusting them even getting a little bit of a bushel here of points. So let's see what you guys have here. We can kind of move along a little bit. This doesn't feel like the best game, but I've got big time points here for Trae Young for sure. I like Trae Young's props over today. I'm also probably going to be on Johnson here. You figure Jalen Johnson can really have a nice matchup. It feels like in this game going up against Cam Johnson. Capella, I don't know. I'm kind of concerned with his matchup against Clax here, but I'd look to Young to light this one up and Johnson to come along as well. And we'll see on Ricochet. I know we all want to see how he does. I figure it'll be okay. Look, I'm looking at some of his projections here, and they're modest for sure. And I think he'll be matched up against DFS. We'll see how Ricochet does against DFS. I'd imagine I could get on some DFS here. The widely reported steam did come in on the over. This one went from 221.5 or so, maybe even a little lower here to 223 or so today. Let's go to the chat. And also I want to mention Thomas said the Pistons actually did turn out to be a consensus play in that last game. How about that? Okay, here we go. And let me know on your, on some of your favorite players here today. Like I said, we got time. Won't do it every day if there's big hockey, big basketball. But on opening night, I'm getting some prop feedback here from you guys, so we might start including some types of other wagers. But again, I on the show I like talking personnel. Certainly, I'm all about the trends. But okay, here we go. Nets and Hawks. I've lost my place here. There we go, Justin. Thank you. We've got Justin says Hawks going over today at 222. And Am I Lying says Claxton on that double-double today. I'm neutral on Claxton, but certainly, needs to have an impact in the game. Tariq, Hawks and team total over for the Hawks here. Hawks to roll. Ziggy likes the Nets in this one plus the points. Robert McCormick likes Brooklyn. I hope that Brooklyn can get it going here a little bit, but I'm very skeptical right now. All right, Calvin going over here. R. Tomps likes the Nets game to go over in this one. Corky's here today, and he's got Partisan. He's got Belgrade in the parlay, the money line parlay with the Cavs and the Warriors. How about that? Great job, Gorky. And if you missed it, I went with the over in that game. So you guys so far, 2 votes for Partisan. They might be a consensus play at this point. All right. And Jim Robin's a douche here today. I was thinking about after I did that soliloquy on my history with Jim Rome yesterday, but I started to do Z, Matt D says go over in the Atlanta game. All right, your guys' pick is in here in this one, and I'm going to take another over. Mr. Under's going over so far. I'm going to take the over here with the Nets and the Hawks, and I got Trae Young to blow it up here tonight. All right, you like that? Magic and the Heat here in this one, and the Heat going to be a 2-point favorite in this one against the Orlando Magic. Magic had a pretty nice matchup here in this one. I just don't know if they have the wherewithal, it feels like here right now, against the Miami Heat. The Heat have won 5 straight meetings between these two teams, going 4-1 against the spread in those meetings. Now, I think the matchup is pretty okay here for Orlando, especially for Wagner in this one, in his matchup against probably Jimmy Buckets. I mean, I would think Wagner might be able to have a big day here in this one, not necessarily in scoring. He might be able to do it all for Orlando against Jimmy in this one, but also Jalen Suggs here, pretty good matchup against Rozier. For Atlanta, certainly Tyler Hero ready to roll against KCP, I would think, and maybe KCP could have a pretty good matchup, though, for him as well. So, only guy I'm probably fading here is Wendell Carter Jr. today. But let's see what you guys have here in this one and move along and with the Magic and the Heat. Here's Justin starting us off. He likes the Madge plus the points. And let's see here. Ziggy. Thank you, Bill. Yeah, what did I say? Ziggy. I think I was thinking of Ziggy in the chat. I said Iggy Pop. Heat here. Money line for Ziggy. And Chanchal says go under. The widely reported steam did come in on the under in this game. Fernando says he might like the Magic here. Oh, man, look, the matchup is not terrible. I just don't know if the Magic, there might be something to the fact that they haven't beat this Heat team here right now. So give me the under here in this one. I'm taking another total. All totals for me on the show anyway so far. Here we go. Tariq says Orlando and the points. R. Tom says Heat money line. Thanks, R. Tomps. Appreciate you. Continue on with our NBA coverage. And here's the game. Certainly, look, I don't think that Joel Embiid is playing any games with his injuries or the stab. We just had a winner come in with Thomas Mahach winning -4 games over Marozan on the VIP tennis tonight. We lost the first two. Wei got a problem with her shoe in the finals. She lost that second set 6-love. And then she was leading in the final set. And then something went wrong with her shoe. We needed a timeout on match point. You knew she wasn't going to win at that point. She actually did fight back and get it to deuce, I think, a couple of times. That show was just starting, so I might have missed a point or two. But sorry about that one, gang. Way plus 4.5. She lost by 5 games. I think we lost both of them by a small margin there. But came back here with Mahach. All right, here we go. Bucks and Sixers. So I'll update it too here and make the Bucks maybe a 4-point favorite. I think it's 3.5 pretty much everywhere right now. But man, how are the Sixers going to be able to get this done, and why? Other than Ziggy's line, of course, maybe we should Venmo Ziggy and see how much we can get, or maybe I saw some jokingly remarks that the Sixers star players are out. Let's take the Sixers. Kind of the old NBA thing where we're all, we've got no Embiid, we've got no Paul George. Everyone's going to be loading up on Lillard. We already saw, comment there on Lillard's prop. And, take the Sixers now that they're missing players here. That's how the NBA works. Well, handicappers certainly aren't feeling that way. I'm showing unanimous support for the Bucks here, even though the Sixers, they're definitely going to be able to stop, some of these Bucks players. Probably not the stars, of course. And I think Giannis does have an injury designation, but I think he's probable now in this one. Comes in with some knee soreness, but there's no doubt Paul George, Paul George too, with his injuries here. He has a knee injury as well. I have more concerns about George. With Embiid, it's almost like a pace of play, a fatigue thing, right? He's going to have to miss some game. He's out indefinitely right now, but you just wonder how much of it is pacing yourself over the season, see if the teams can get some wins. When can you come back? When can you, make an impact? Because we saw how much of a physical toll it takes on him playing hard. And again, part of it is because of, missing games like he does and not having the type of fitness you need. When he was going hard in those playoff games, look, there are moments of brilliance and dominance for Joel Embiid. But we saw, remember, the look, the fatigue. You almost felt for the guy, right? And look, we carried those playoff games at sometimes, and then sometimes you're like, oh, look at this poor man out there. So anyways, so the Sixers will start a little bit behind the 8 ball here. They do have, Kelly Oubre, he'll probably have a pretty strong night, I would think, in this one. I like Oubre to have a good performance here for the Sixers, and I don't mind, or Eric Gordon as well. I'm kind of neutral on Maxey here, but I think Lillard is the man here tonight. We saw the props in the chat there. I would think I would be hitting with Lillard for sure against Maxey in this one, so see if you guys have some plays here in Milwaukee and Philly. Milwaukee's won 5 of the last 6 trips into Philly. And check your plays here. See what you guys have with the Bucks and the Sixers. Here we go. Oh my goodness. Want to say hello and welcome to Young Native Tino. Thank you. He's got the Tyreek jersey here. He's got the Jazz, the Hornets, the Bulls, and the Clippers. I'm not sure I've ever been able to shout out Young Native Tino 64 here in the chat. And do appreciate you being in here. Thank you, Young Native Tino. All right, here's Am I Lying with Jalen Suggs on a little prop action. Fernando's going to lean to the under. M looks, says, I'll still take the Sixers without the stars of the team. This is what I want. Look, the line's adjusted. Even you guys are joking about it a little bit. They corrected some error in the line. Like I said, I don't know which book, maybe it was a small time, but the line was definitely 4.5 for the Sixers for the most part when they had their stars in. And now it's gone the other way. Justin says, give me the Bucks moneyline parlay and the Suns moneyline parlay. The widely reported steam came in on the under here in this one. Within the, since we knew there would be a change right now in the personnel. Chad says the Bucks are still going to be trash this season. Overrated. So can this Sixers team with this lineup? Ziggy says he'll take the Bucks here. Oh, he's got him on that bad line, and we'll see if he's still a member of the chat of the. I'm just kidding, Ziggy. All right. Jermaine here with some props going on. Young Native Tino he might be behind us here, or he's ahead of us, I think, actually. And don't forget, Middleton will miss time as well here. So I don't know if there are any other big time talent missing. Let's see here. McCain, probable. Maxey has a thumb injury, but he is probable here in this one. So, all right, R. Thompson's on the Bucks. And Jermaine not happy with Cat so far. And Young Native Tino, thank you for some more prop action there. Robert's on the Bucks. And whoops. No, we got you, Ziggy. No problem, man. I just said, like I said, I would imagine And, if you're hitting them for a max bet, I would imagine that maybe they will grade it. Maybe we all should be at this book. But my guess would be it would probably be a canceled bet. All right, I think that's it for this one with the Bucks and the Sixers here. I'm going with another total, and I've got this one to go over. I'm going to fade that steam a little bit here in this one. All right, and Chad with some great comments here regarding today's game. He's got Maxey and Oubre going crazy. And I definitely think that Oubre, especially, against the likes of Gary Trent, should have a strong performance here for sure for Oubre. Got a neutral on Maxey, though, in that one, but not fading him, that's for sure. All right, brother, appreciate it. I'll take the over here in this one. I got 4 totals, man. I got to mix it up a little bit, but I like a few sides for sure. Here we go. Cavs and Raptors tonight in Toronto. And, well, we'll see what happens. It looks like a tough matchup on paper for the Raptors here, but they are getting the points at home. The widely reported steam did come in on the over in this one. 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone under here in Toronto, and also 5 of the last 7 meetings between these two have gone under. But Toronto seems to have Cleveland's number. They've won 9 of the last 11 meetings here at home between these two teams. So maybe that could factor in a little bit, especially when you're getting some decent points here for sure. I definitely think the Cavs are worthy favorites, but could it be a little bit high here in this one? You guys can kind of chip in here. But Toronto, they were just awful last year in games as an underdog. And remember, they weren't covering anything at home last season. At the end of the season, it was a disaster. So kind of tough to kind of get up the gumption to take Toronto here, especially, like I said, it feels like a tough matchup against the defensive-oriented Cavaliers here in this one. It feels like only guy who I would think probably could get off for Toronto might be Scotty Barnes, and hopefully we get Scotty, in form here. It feels like Toronto definitely has a little bit of a list here of players to start the season out here with Olynyk, with Barrett, say what you will, but Jacoby Walters also, we'd like to see him, but currently out with a shoulder injury. Cavs have Max Strus out for this one, and Merrill is probable. All right, let's see what the chat has to say here with the Cavs and the Raptors in this one. I think Justin's starting us off here with the Cavs laying the points on the road. Stop Geo's here. All right. Nice to have you, Stop Geo. Ziggy likes to take the Raptors in this one. Calvin's on the Raptors here. And Jermaine will take the Raptors in this one. And John Charles says, I'll take the Cavs since Barrett is out. And it's funny, right? Because some hot and cold on Barrett, it feels like here to open the season. I don't think that injury is not necessarily withstanding. I'm not saying that that's why they're down on him here. But shoulder injury right now. He has a sprained AC joint to start the season here. So, and what's going to happen now, you're going to need to see production for Barnes, of course. I think Barnes can be strong, but you also need Quickly to step up, and Grady Dick's in the starting lineup here. I feel like it's a tough matchup for all these guys, really, but I don't know. I want to take the points. Toronto seems to do well against these guys. Here's Robert on the under here in this one. And Calvin says they were not covering anything last year. It's probably why I'm going to move on them as a free pick here. I'm going to take the points. All right. Yeah, Tariq says he wants to take them too, but it's just too many points here for a season opener. Jared Allen against Podol. I think Jared Allen probably could be a dominant force here in this one, but Spider, I don't know. We'll see. Look, Grady Dick will get in your I was going to say Grady Dick will get in your face. I don't know if I can go viral, but, you know, I think Dick's underrated. All right. I think Jermaine's saying the Raptors are 18-11 on opening night. Is that what that is? Or we'll see. I'll try the Raptors here in this one. The widely reported steam came in on the over here in this game, and right now sitting at 224. It opened, I guess, about as low as 218.5. So that's a big move. All right. In your face. All right. Hornets and the Rockets here in this one, you guys. Rockets here taking some attention, it feels like, from handicappers and also from the Sharps. The widely reported steam came in just a little while ago before I came on the air and kind of moved the Rockets to 7.5 at a few places. Here, the steam also came in on the under. This one opened as high as 234.5 or so, coming in to the game tonight with Charlotte and Houston. Houston has won, 17 of the last 19 meetings at home between these two teams. Now, sure, they only meet a couple of times a year right now. So, but the Rockets haven't always been great or overwhelming. Certainly, Charlotte hasn't really been a factor at all, but does sound like a tough time. You remember the old if you're a old-time basketball fan, they used to call it the Texas Triangle when you'd have to go in and play all three teams in a row. They don't do that, I don't think, anymore. But still, for whatever reason, the Charlotte Hornets have had a tough time here against Houston. Sometimes those trends are a little bit okay or solid. Let's see what you think of the matchups here in this one. Still no Steven Adams here, it feels like. I mean, look at the official injury report. Hope he gets in this season. I know that's going to be a huge, huge factor if he can return. He is listed as questionable here still, but nearing that return, it feels like. Josh Green, questionable for the Hornets. And let's see how the matchups look here in this one. Like I said, the widely reported steam, Rockets, and the under here. And I think it's a tough matchup for a few of these guys here, especially, hey, look, I don't mind some of the defense for Houston. Maybe they can be improved here defensively. Might be a tough spot for Mikal Bridges. Might be a little bit tough for Grant Williams. Here, the Rockets will have their own problems with my man Jalen Green, who got paid here, but he might have it a little bit tough. And also Dylan Brooks, I think I got the down arrow on him as well, but should be okay here with Fred VanVleet a little bit. But I think the Hornets, I feel like their depth might end up being a little bit short here in this one. Might be a tough game. A lot of points to lay here on opening night. See what your guys' plays are here in the chat. All right. It's Hornets for Ziggy. And JW says, let's see if we can get some production here from Lonzo. from ball. And don't forget Brandon Miller, too, here, no doubt. I think he can have a decent game. I'm going to end up on the over here. I'm going to fade the Steam tonight and go over in this one. I've got to think that I've got to think Sengun can have a strong game here, actually. And Fred. Robert McCormick likes the over as well. And Hornets to cover, says M. Looks. Sengun got a contract, John Schall says. Look, Houston, they'll be exciting. Let's hope they are exciting. Let's hope Houston, there were some games you could see the rising talent of the Rockets. You're worried about how much they can, but again, just get Steven Adams healthy. It feels like to me could be a big factor, and he'll be back this year. We know that. All right. Sengun here. I've got him big, Jermaine. I've got to think. Well, I think I'm worried about the prices actually on Sengun. I don't know if I can totally get on him, but I think he's got to be the man. He's got to be one of the guys here to carry him. He's got to be the star of this game in order for the Rockets to get the money. And I guess is the best way I could put it. Gorky's got Yankees money line game 1. Gorky, the Dodgers have to win at least one game for Fernando and make it the opener. Sengun over in his rebounds. Hornets should cover. Maybe an upset, says Public Enemy. Hi, Public Enemy. Sengun over PRA here. Houston first half and full game. Calvin says, the Rockets do play good defense at home. Mikal Bridges goes under in his props. They'll win this game for sure. I am worried about the front court production of the Hornets in this game. And, I'm still going over as my play, but only because it feels like there's a little bit of value on the big move to the under. Feels like it should still be close to, maybe mid 230s, but all right. And that, I think, is going to do it for that game. Let's move on here and take a look at the Bulls and the Pelicans in this one. The Pelicans, a favorite here in this one with 6.5, and the total is 226.5. The widely reported Steam came in on the over in this game, and why not? I would think the Bulls, I would expect them to have some problems defensively here, especially in the opener, controlling these, guards of the Pelicans with Murray. Let me see the injury report, though. I know Murray has an injury designation here. I know he's probable. I think he's questionable with a personal issue. Zion is under the weather, so there are question marks here for the Pelicans coming into this one. They are the far less healthier team here coming in. We know the Bulls, the story for the Bulls to a certain extent feels like Lonzo Ball, but he's a bit player, but I'm happy and excited to see him. And with Kobe White kind of nursing a little bit of an injury coming in, right? He did have a little bit of a groin injury, but seemed to put that aside. For me, Vooch, big game. I would think Vooch, a big game here for the Bulls, matched up against Tice. I think this one probably ends up going over here in this one. Let's get your plays, your comments in this one. 9 of the last 11 meetings between these two teams have gone over. So let's see what you guys, not much from you guys in this game so far, it feels like. Here is Ziggy. He wants the Pelicans plus 6 points. He got that book. We got to get on Ziggy's book, fam. Here in this one, Ziggy getting 6 points with the 6-point favorite here. And Calvin says he's got the Pelicans in this one. Robert says, I like the Bulls against the spread. Tariq is on the over here. Young Native Chino says big game here for Zion trade tonight. And I don't know. Zion comes in. He certainly has been, like I said, on the injured list here with an illness. But I thought, let me see, didn't he also have? Well, we know Zion's myriad of injuries. I guess is what. But a minor illness here. I imagine he might have a PSG or PSV or maybe that's what it is. All kidding aside, maybe for Zion. So we don't know what his illness is, I guess. So, all right, you got to figure that opens it up maybe for a little Herb Jones, maybe a little Javonte Green as well, with if Zion is not able to get his maximum. But look, does have to go up against Patrick Williams. Patrick Williams, can play a little bit of D, certainly. Williams actually practiced on Monday. He turned his ankle, and he's also been battling a wrist injury. Okay. It looks like not much from you guys here in this one, but Calvin says Bulls have no superstar. Well, okay. I mean, I'm a pretty big Vooch fan, but I know he's not a superstar. But sometimes his numbers are, very underrated. Underrated. That's what I'll say. And I think Vooch has a big game here tonight. These teams always go over when they meet. I don't know if there's something to that or not, but I'm kind of concerned about the lineup a little bit. I think the Pelicans are not healthy here against the Bulls. I'll take the Pelicans here to cover the spread, though, as my free play. All right. Young Native Chino likes Murray to go off. I do too. If Murray's ready to go, this should be the key. It feels like here for the Pelicans for me. Murray, McCollum, Brandon Ingram here all get the up arrow for me in this matchup here tonight. All right, the Grizzlies are going to take on the Jazz here tonight on the road. The Grizzlies are favored here in this one at -3, 229.5. Well, it's down to 228 for sure. Let's mark it down. Let's bring it down here, a point and a half. The widely reported steam came in on the Jazz in this game. These two teams have gone over in 12 of the last 13 meetings when playing in Utah. That certainly is something. Utah has also won 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams coming in. We know that, we're looking for Memphis to kind of get back a little bit to where they need to be, but they have a few concerns here, it feels like, to open the season. A lot of players kind of banged up here a little bit to start the season for Memphis. Let's take a look at these injuries here. Jaren Jackson out with a hamstring injury. Luke Kennard is out here as well. Cam Spencer out, and Vince Williams out for Utah. Johnny Juzang, he is out, and Isaiah Collier is out in this one. That feels like, to me, Memphis a little more heavy coming in, but man, if Memphis can get their heads in the right place, they should just go off on the defenseless Utah Jazz, it feels like, here tonight. But I don't know. This team doesn't fare well whenever it goes into Utah. Great matchup for sure for Ja. We'll see how Ja fares coming into the season, but come on. You got to think this is a great matchup for him. Now, he did turn his ankle a little bit in the preseason game against Dallas, but he was able to come back here in the preseason and, be ready for the campaign here. Marcus Smart, good matchup. Desmond Bain, really good matchup. And Edey, we'll see, matched up against Walker Kessler. I don't know. I like the matchups for the centers here, too. I kind of like that, with the tendency of these teams to go over when facing one another. Man, we might actually see a pretty high-scoring game between these two teams. So, all right. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. Let me go to the chat and take a look at the plays from you guys. Memphis and the Jazz. All right. Ray Otachi says, give me the Jazz here in this one. And Calvin says, the Jazz about to come back, baby. Jazz about to come back. All right. Robert says go under. Fernando's going under. Art Thompson's going under. It's a lot of everybody's going under. I guess that 12 of the last 13 meetings between the two teams going over didn't sway anybody. The Jazz going to go off. The Jazz are defenseless. The Jazz have a few decent matchups here for sure. Markkanen, I would think, against Bain, big time there for Laurie. Could be a strong matchup. Kessler, we'll see about Zach Edey. I think Kessler against Edey could be okay. Here also, John Collins, good matchup. But the guard play is going to be dominated by Memphis, I would think, for sure. The widely reported steam came in on the Jazz. Ziggy likes, here's a Ziggy is at least going over with me. Thank you, Ziggy. And JW likes Sexton here. I don't know about Sexton tonight. I'm down on Sexton tonight. Jermaine says, you got no Jackson Jr., you got Laurie to eat. I agree. Tariq likes Utah. I like Utah. I'm going with Utah as my pick here on the morning steam. I'll be so happy when the new computer arrives. This thing is driving me crazy, but I've got to have my I can't do it on these other computers, have other functions. I'm just a man with a lot of laptops. All right. Let's move on here. I'm taking the Jazz, gang. Here's the Suns and the Clippers tonight. And you already saw you guys making fun of my man Kawhi in the chat. I can't defend him necessarily but again, much like Joel Embiid, he just has to manage his pain and manage his time. So, everybody can say what they want, but it's hard to compete at the professional level day in and day out and play 82 games, when you don't have any knee cartilage. So basically here, the Clippers, an underdog here in this one. Feels like the Clippers, are they really headed for disaster here this season without George now and relying on a guy like James Harden? Look, it's not going to be easy for James Harden, man. Tyus Jones is back. So, for Phoenix, Tyus Jones on for Phoenix here could be a little bit tough here. I will say this: the Suns are like probably one another. I mentioned three teams that professional handicappers are really on so far today. So you don't need Ramon's picks. You don't need to buy any picks. You got your own picks. That's fine. I'm just telling you what people who are selling picks, the most widely sent out team today is Indiana, Milwaukee, and Phoenix. And Phoenix here in this matchup. Look, Jones is pretty good matchup too, but I've got to think for Booker, decent for, I'm kind of neutral on him, but I think Booker can be strong here. I think Beal can as well. I'm kind of down on KD in this matchup, and Nurkic here as well. For the Clippers, I don't see a very good matchup, though, for these guys today with Harden. I don't like his matchup here at all. I don't like the matchup. The Clippers have some weak players, certainly in this starting lineup with Amir Coffey, with Derek Jones here as well. So you're going to have to rely on Zubac here in this game. And Terrence Mann can have a good game. It's just that he doesn't produce enough, it feels like. So I'm going to end up here. Let me give a few trends out here because the Suns have won 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams. 4 out of the last 5 games have gone over, but I don't see it that way, fam. I've got to take the under as my play here. Suns and Clippers here tonight in the Intuit Dome. So, Clippers got a beautiful new home, man, that might be the most fattest arena in the country here right now. The new Clippers arena that, they got a super rich billionaire owner here. So with Ballmer, new arena, but can it make a difference? I think it can make a difference not playing in the Lakers arena, basically, for the Clippers. They got an identity of their own. They got their new logo this year coming out, that dumb logo where they have for some reason, they have a yacht. They have Ballmer's yacht is the logo of the Clippers when it's supposed to be a Clipper ship. The Clipper ship uses sails. Okay, you have to navigate it. Anyways. All right, give me the under here. The Suns. Let me get your plays. I'm sorry, gang. Over for Ray Otachi, where Ray and I are against it here. Young Native Tino says, who are you going to rely on with the Suns without KD and Booker, right? Well, I don't know. Like I said, I think Nurkic, a bad matchup for him here against Zubac. It feels like for me, Zubac, he'll mess with your head a little bit. But Beal here, I think Beal's got a pretty fine matchup. And again, I think Tyus Jones certainly here can be a factor this season for the Suns. Stay healthy. All right, hey, we just came home with another VIP winner in tennis, and the way these guys are winning today, Ramon's making it look easy. How about clay court star Pedro Martinez winning on the hard court against Yuri Lechka? He killed him 6-2, 6-2. I said take 4.5 games. Could have went money line in that one. So we did drop one with Days. So 2-1 so far on this late card. We got one more coming up. It's underway actually right now. We're on Nakashima plus 3 games against Tommy Paul. He's already broken him once here. I'm watching it right now. So he's already broken him once here. He's up here. Oh, let me see. 4-2 now. On top of Paul at first set. So, all right, let me see. I got a few. Maybe I could pass along a few more plays here. Some free plays in tennis. The way I'm going. Okay, Ziggy's got the Clippers here in this one. With PG gone, Kawhi robbing the bank, Booker and Durant gonna go off here today. I'll take the under on the Durant props in the matchup tonight. Not debating Calvin in this one, but I'm kind of Durant is up, Durant is down. I don't think this is the spot for Durant. Jones can guard a little bit here. Let's see what else we got. Thank you guys for a great show here so far. And let's see. JW, yeah, the Clippers, that's a part of the problem here. I think Ballmer's learned his lesson. I think he'll be able to figure things out, but right now he's just saddling the bill here a little bit. Tremaine's got Booker for 25, Durant for 20, Harden for 18. Yeah, I'm down on Harden here in this one. Tariq likes the Suns. Calvin, I don't know what that means, but Maybe he's talking about the boat. Under here for Robert. I'm in agreement with Robert. Art Thompson says the Clippers. Hey, Art Thompson, I didn't know the Clippers are Art Thompson's team. That makes me feel good because, well, the Clippers are my team too. Yeah, I end up rooting a lot for the Lakers because, they were on TV. But I rooted for those title teams. I still root for the Lakers too, but only because the Clippers are terrible. We never won anything. All right, Suns easy here. Yeah, we got to win the first game in the brand new arena. All right, that's it for that one, gang. And I have a bad feeling about my Clippers here tonight. But maybe the new arena maybe it's a new beginning, maybe new era. All right, one more here. The Warriors take on the Blazers tonight. The Warriors, a 6-point favorite here on the road in this one. Yeah, Warriors got long way to go to improve here, and the move has been on the Warriors. You could have laid less than this for sure. Seth Curry does have I want to say it's a busted finger. He's got a finger injury for sure coming in, but he's probable here in this one. Pajemski, he is probable. He's going to have to wear a mask, I think, tonight for a nose injury. No Robert Williams here for Portland. So still widely reported steam came in on the under. Shaden Sharp will miss. He's out indefinitely with a shoulder injury, and Tybal is out indefinitely here as well. So, hey, if Curry feels good, that finger's good. I'd pay the tax tonight on Curry, it feels like, in the matchup with Scoot. We'll see what happens. Let's see what happens with Scoot this season. But I don't know if this will be a great matchup for him tonight. For Simons as well, I've got the down arrow. And for Avja, I've got the down arrow as well on Avija as tonight here. I don't mind Grant for the Blazers, but for Portland here, I'm going to probably fade the front court a little bit in this one. But like I said, the widely reported steam did come in on the under. Golden State has won 4 of the last 5 meetings here between these two teams, and the Warriors have won 5 straight over Portland. 5 straight over Portland in the series is what I'm trying to say. Let's get your plays and comments, and the NBA coverage will be over here. Great job, gang. Here's Fernando going to take the Blazers plus the points. Ziggy likes the over here in this one. Chad's got to play. He's got the Blazers here in this one tonight. Tariq's got the under. Art Thompson's on the under. I'm going to go under. I was going to put that in as my premium, but if I see a couple of unders here in the NBA, the steam is on the under. Like I said, I'm kind of – I don't mind the Blazers defensively in the front court, but I worry about the Blazers offensively. It feels like in the backcourt, even though, Scoot, you'd think that he'll continue his progress. And Chad says, roll those home dogs. Look at him tonight, Chad. Pistons, Sixers, Raptors, Jazz, Clippers, Blazers. Is this the NFL? Look at these home dogs here. But Thomas says, tease them. Tease all these points. Take 4 more points. 5 more points. Whatever you can do. All right. Robert's on the Warriors. Chad doesn't tease. Irish King, hello to Irish King. He had a good day yesterday with the Celtics and the Lakers. All right, I guess that's it for the NBA. Thanks, everybody. What a great hour that was of action. Let's continue the show and move on. We just really have, we got all that soccer. Let's hurry up. Flyers and Capitals get us going here with our one game on the ice tonight with Fedotov here looks like in goal for the Flyers. Of course, the Flyers, I took them last night against the Capitals, and they looked bad here, and the two teams will turn it around and play back here in Washington tonight. Got to be pretty mad about the way the Flyers looked in that game. They took the sharp action, it felt like, and maybe I bought into it a little bit, taking the Flyers at home. So I'm down on them. I don't think they return the favor here, it feels like, tonight. Hey, right now, gang, we got some NBA steam coming in tonight's it's in tomorrow's game. The Sacramento Kings are actually getting steam. Let's throw it in there. The Kings tomorrow night in their matchup against the Timberwolves. Looks like they're getting steamed here, maybe to -1 against the Timberwolves tomorrow night. Game might be off the board in some places with the Wolves playing here tonight, or maybe it could be on. We're also seeing a move right now. Looks to me, guys, I don't know if there is, maybe check the injury reports for this one, but Memphis and Utah is kind of lighting up, but I'm going to wait on that before I announce anything to you guys here. I'm not so sure it's going to be a steam move. All right, the plays are already coming in because I got caught up here in the matchup with the Flyers and the Capitals. Let's see here. Thomas said we've got one move in the NBA. It was on Detroit as a consensus play. Gave us our third consensus, or our only consensus play there. All right, Thomas, let me see. Ziggy's going to start us off under 6, MMA guy. MMA guy, I have not been able to replace this computer yet. It's actually not an audio issue. It's actually a sticky hard drive or a sticky fan. So I've had to buy another computer, and because you chase everybody away from buying my $3 packages, I'm going to have to sweep the board tonight to afford this new computer that I'm buying. So thanks a lot, pal. All right, here's Jermaine. He wants the team total over. And I think that might, here's our McCormick on the Capitals here. All right, here's Calvin on the under. All right, and let me see what else I have on this. I just want to make my play and move on now. Got good old MMA guy here. Whoops. At least the computer still works, but, I ordered I like my Macs. I like my Macs, but I like my PCs. I've got to have some of both. So I got a new HP coming to replace this thing. I've only had this thing a few months. I think 9 months, and the fan already probably can get it fixed. But, these computers are so cheap. Okay, trying to do the show here with the Flyers here in this one. And, last night, definitely the Caps got off to that quick start. But we did give out the under. Well, I will say this about that game last night. I do feel like we did have some over support, and I was kind of on an island last night with that play on the under. I've definitely felt the chat. Oh, you guys were a few people who chimed in. We're on the over in that Capitals-Flyers game last night, but I held the line there a little bit at least in that game. I'm going to try the under again here tonight as my play. Maybe I'll just go with, hey, it worked last night. So, no, Thomas, I'll just use the computer for something else. Or maybe I'll just have it farther away. Maybe I can bang it a couple of times. That's what I usually do is I just bang it and it stops making, and then it starts right back up. Okay. Anyways, I don't know if you want to get too into it. If you saw the game last night, and maybe you did see the beginning of it because it was on for a half an hour without any other games on. So you saw the quick start there by the Caps last night to get those early goals and continue on for the victory here. So now down on the Flyers here right now for sure with Fedotov. Let me see what the goalie. Thompson is confirmed here in goal for the Caps. It's 2-0 so far here this season. Just an 87.5 save percentage, but 3.39 goals against average. And the way the Flyers are scoring, Fedotov has been bad. He's 0-2 with 6 goals against and 81% save percentage coming in this one. So I'm going to go ahead, though, and try the under here. Flyers are having trouble last night. I'm going to take the Flyers to have trouble again here tonight. Capitals 4-1 on the season. The Flyers are 1-4-1. All right. Next up, let's move to college football right now with a couple of games. Not great here tonight. Both huge spreads. So I don't know what you want from me. Liberty and Kennesaw. Liberty here, a 25.5 point favorite here. In this one, let me get the notes here going. Liberty, of course, comes in 5-0. We see in the same Liberty here that can roll through this. I mentioned the big game between UNLV and Boise State this weekend, but don't forget about Liberty. They're 5-0, 3-0 in Conference USA here right now. They've won their Conference USA games so far by about an average of 10 points here coming in, but they're going up against 0-6 Kennesaw. They're 0-2 in conference. They also lost to UT Martin of FCS 27-13. They've lost their other games by margin of about 15 to 20 points per game so far. So Kennesaw 1-4 against the spread against FBS teams in those losses. So they're 2-10 against the spread when coming off of a loss. They've gone under in 4 of their 5 games so far this season. But I don't know. I feel like 25 might still be too high. Maybe it'll be a 20. Maybe they'll roll them here. In this one, but so far, Liberty's had some good defense against their sour competition coming into this one. They're averaging 31 points against FBS teams right now, but just 1-3 against the spread in those games against the FBS teams. So they're not necessarily getting there on the number. But, man, you have the contrast of the undefeated team against the winless team coming in, the winless team that doesn't cover the spread. So it might be a little bit different if they were 6-0 and 3-3 against the spread, but they're 1-5 against the spread. But still, the team laying 25.5 points is on the road. They're 1-4 against the spread. So these teams have never met, so nothing we can kind of compare it to here. So I'm going to take the free pick on Kennesaw and hope maybe that it's a lack of focus for Liberty. They're not going to lose. I don't think that's going to happen, but maybe, just maybe, Liberty here coming in, maybe a look ahead a little bit, or just maybe some complacency. Let me see what you guys have. I don't know what I can add. Kennesaw's averaging just 13 points per game. Liberty's averaging 33 points per game, but does feel like it could be maybe just somewhere in there. 34-17, it would be an over now. This one, the total's gone down to 46. I can do the math here. You got a total of 46, so 39-14, right? 39-14. Yeah, I get 39-14, 38-14, 38-14. I think 38-14 exact score line. 38-14 here. We're going to go with that's still 38-17. 38-17, 35-17. How about 35-7? That's 35 or 38-17 is what I'm going to say here, and somewhere around there. I'm going to take Kennesaw here. Let's see what we got. I would imagine that Thomas on Liberty here. And Calvin says Liberty clearly better that point spread, then point spread maybe. Robert on the over, but our Tom's on the under. Tough game, you guys. So hopefully it gave you a little bit of info there. It's pretty cut and dried. Take a look. Not much on the injury front here. Total continues to drop, though. Liberty is the only one reporting any injuries here. Liberty first half, team total over for chosen one. All right, let's move on to the next game. Liberty's going to roll tonight. Well, that's what the point spread says. And here's another lopsided game with Middle. Tennessee taking on here with, I will mention right now, you guys, we've already talked about the Partisan game in Euro League here. If you were liking Partisan, as we talked about, a couple of our members of the chat did, and I had mentioned my affinity for the total over in the game, but Partisan is on the move right now, actually. They're up to a 9-point favorite, so if you want Partisan, here comes the money. Partisan is taking steam here against Bologna in Euro baskets. Who knew we were going to cover this one? But I'm going to report it to you. You guys showed interest in the game, and I've got Partisan moving here, -9 now. They were as low as 7.5. They're taking the action against Virtus Bologna. All right. Continue on, though, with our Middle Tennessee preview. Let's get back to some, I don't know, that other game might be more interesting. Middle Tennessee comes in 2-5, 1-2 in Conference USA so far. Middle Tennessee, they've been held under 100 rushing yards in 5 of their 6 games, but they've got an experienced quarterback and Vadiato here in this one. Middle 7-11 in their last 18 as a road dog coming into this one. Middle also 6-13 against the spread, last 18 in conference, and they're 8-16 against the spread, their last 16 when coming off of a win like they were last week. For Jacksonville State, they've won 3 straight. They're averaging 50 points in those 3 victories, and they've been running wild here in conference play right now. They rushed for 273, 384, 334 yards in those 3 monster games here behind that offensive line. So for Jacksonville State, Rodriguez is 5-1 against the spread as a home favorite. And well, I saw a comment in one of the shows I was on Monday night, or no, it was yesterday. What is your determination of value, right? I know I've given this one here a couple of times already on the Sports Money Network, but for me, value represents a move in the line where there isn't any reported injuries necessarily. So, and the line was widely available, like this line was at Jacksonville State -23.5. down to 19.5 here. The value to me is on Jacksonville State because the move has been on Middle Tennessee. Last year, Jacksonville State won 45-30 on the road in this game, but they were an underdog in that game by 3 points. My, how things have changed this season. Middle Tennessee had 563 yards in that game, but they turned the ball over 3 times, and that cost them. Jacksonville State has gone over in 5 of their 6 games so far this season, and since Rodriguez has come in here, 7-2 against the spread in conference play for Jacksonville State. They were gobbling up turnovers also in those 3 victories for sure. They were +11. So let's see what you guys have here in this one with Middle Tennessee taking on Jacksonville State. No value in the total, it feels like here. This one's moved higher to 64. And I don't know. It might be getting there. Let's take a look at the chat. And Thomas said, go over. I will. Let's take the over, Thomas, you and me. I'll take the over as my play here at 64 with Jacksonville State. Watch out. They might be rolling here a little bit on middle tonight, it feels like. Subhuman's here. He's just in time. He said, you know what? I'm not going to go to this. I'll go to the show at the end when the soccer is. Let's roll. Sub, I already mentioned our parlay winner. Well, you had it. You said the parlay with Villa and the under 4.5. And I said, I like the regular under in that game. And we teamed them up and knocked out a parlay. Villa and under yesterday. Good job, Sub. R. Thompson's on Jacksonville State. Calvin says he thinks middle can hang in there in this one and getting 3 touchdowns practically. And I think that's it for you guys in this game. So give me the over here in this one with middle and Jacksonville State. All right, Sub's here. Let's get into the soccer. See what we can get from Sub. Maybe he's typing his plays. Maybe he's just waiting for me to give out the picks here in these matchups. So we'll run over them quickly. We're almost at the top of the hour. Let's make it a 2-hour show here tonight. All right. Let's also take a look. Yeah, Sub, we had the big winner early there with Red Star game to go over the Monaco game. You gave out Monaco. I gave out the over. I guess that was 2 parlays we gave out. I think, here's Calvin went over in that football game. I agree. But like I said, it was 60.5. It went up to 64. So I'll put the over in there. And Calvin also ended up, there he is. No, I got you, Calvin. Yep, Jacksonville game. I knew what you're talking about for sure. All right. Here we go. Oh, let's get into it. I think I saw, let me get Sub's plays up here. He's got the early games here with Atalanta in this one. I agree, Sub. Maybe we'll do the same thing here. I've got my picks, but I like Atalanta. I actually like Atalanta. He's got halftime, full-time parlay here at 105. I like Atalanta here to cover 1.5 here, actually. Today against Celtics. So, but we'll just say maybe we could do a little money line here because I'm going over here. Oh, gang, listen up. We got to move here right now in college football. The games we just mentioned. The total is moving here for sure on Liberty and Kennesaw. We gave out the Kennesaw side here, but I know there was some over in the chat. And the way I was talking about it, maybe they were listening to me when I started reeling off that score because the total is now at 47 here right now. And boom, other game too. Light up the board. The under, save the bet. Middle Tennessee and Jacksonville State. I gave out the over. See the over moves, but the under is being steamed right now. Maybe the group is just coming in and bombing here right now. The steam is coming in both college football games at the same time. Over in Liberty and Kennesaw, under in Middle Tennessee State and Jacksonville right now. 63.5 we're already down to here at a few sites. So definitely moving lower here. I mentioned the value there. So there'll be more value here on the over. Okay. Here we go. So Atalanta here against Celtic. I do like Atalanta maybe here. I'm going to take them to cover here in this one right now. Celtic has lost 6 straight Champions League matches on the road right now. And let's see here. He's also, and so let me team up with Sub here. I'm going to take the over in this one with Celtic and Atalanta. I mean, you talk about a game that it's 3 over 45 is what I have, I think, listed on the screen. Maybe you wanted to take it, if you want to take it to 3.5 or 3.25 here. In fact, it might even be higher. So you might go 3.5 at 3.5 over at even money here in this one. But like sub, kind of taking them way down a little bit, adding it into that money line a little bit. My pick is going to be on the over. I'll grade it at 3.5 under. 3.5 under minus 120 is where I'll grade it at. The over is even money, but if you're throwing in a parlay, maybe you take it down to 3 here a little bit. I like the over, but I like Atalanta as well in that one. Okay. Also, early game here, Brest and Leverkusen here in this one. First half over, says sub. I'm on the over here in this one as well. So I definitely like that play here. I don't know when the goals will come necessarily, but sub has probably handicapped it out as such. The Leverkusen favored in this one. Oh, I should put the lines up here too. You got subs up there. Let me show the games here. With Atalanta, like I said, it might get it at 3.5 here in this one. But here we go. Write down subs plays too. And next up, Leverkusen and Brest here in this one. Leverkusen minus a goal total, 3.5 under 30. Leverkusen, they're better as a favorite than as a dog, that's for sure. And let's see here. I was going to bring those plays back up right now from sub. The early ones anyway here. So sub says like first half over here, and I agree with that. So I'm going to give out Brest actually here as my play. I'm going to take them plus a goal. That might be the less popular side. It feels like here in this one. I'm going to take them though. I'm taking Brest. Okay, also sub here. I'm going to mark these down, but you can look at them. Then we'll go run through the games here real quick and get it done. Okay, he's on Barcelona DNB today in their game. I agree, sub. I'm on Barcelona, so we'll leave sub, taking the DNB here in that game. And also, he says he likes Liverpool, and I like him too. I like him minus a half. I'm right on board with sub here in this one. And he says only loss there was UV yesterday, and I wasn't any good in that game either. I tried to take the total, so we got to be, we got those ones right. We got the other one wrong. Okay, sub says he leans to the over there. We're going to put him over the top because I'm taking it. And yeah, Celtic on the road. I already got burned with them once, trying to buy into Celtic again. And Leverkusen here, he says 9-2 the first half over so far, including 2-0 in the Champions League. And Subhuman says give Brest a chance here. I'm taking Brest here in this one. Plus a goal. I love betting the Asian handicap. That's just my thing. I'm not much into laying, $2 favor. I know how my crew does it here. So I could tie it in a little bit with what I'm doing, and we could have a great time. Let's go in. If Sub wants to add any more, let's get rolling here with Sparta taking on Man City here. And Man City, if they're not worried about their situation in the EPL, they might not be worried about it here, but still got to lay 2.5 goals against Sparta Prague here in this one. We know that Manchester City at home in Champions League play, pretty automatic. They've won 21 of their last 24 matches here at home in Champions League play. And a lot of these games do end up going over, but I'm not so sure here with this one. So let me run over the records of these teams a little bit too. Do a little better preview here than just giving out the picks and a few tidbits here. Okay, maybe another pick here. Sub says, could see this first half to go over in this one, in the Man City game. I was kind of leaning under, so let me just pivot here maybe a little bit. I want to take 2.5 goals. I think I'm going to end up taking 2.5 goals with Sparta here. I'm sure City can roll these guys if they want and need, but you got to be impressed so far with Sparta's 2 games with a win and a draw so far. They did get the spread also. In that draw, they did cover the spread. So let me take Sparta here against Big Bad City and grab 2.5 goals at probably minus $1.10 or so, it feels like, for the most part. My play will be on Sparta Prague. Next up, Dinamo Zagreb taking on Salzburg here in this one. You got pretty closely rated. Let's see here, minus $1.20 for Salzburg as the favorite. Here, the total is 3 under 20, could be under 25. Here right now in this one with Zagreb taking on Salzburg here. So far, Salzburg is, let's see here, 0-2 right now, and Zagreb is 0-1-1. But Dinamo did cover in that tie. They did get the money in that tie. Both teams trending over so far. Both their matches have gone over so far this Champions League season. And even against one another, I would think maybe that's the way this one could go. As Zagreb, here, let's see, they don't fare very well on the road. That's for sure. I'm gonna take Zagreb. I'm tempted to take Zagreb actually, though. I'm gonna grab them plus a half a goal. What's half a goal? This one might be a high-scoring draw to me. Half a goal at even money, that does it. I'll take Zagreb here as my play, plus a half a goal in this one. Let's move on. Lille is going to take on Atletico Madrid in Spain here in this one. You got Lille coming in right now with a record of 1-1. Madrid also 1-1, but Madrid was able to win their home game so far, and Lille did lose on the road. Total here at 2.5, over at minus 115. I can only see one way in this one. I've got to be on Madrid, it feels like to me, minus a goal. Let's see if there's some trends that back this one up. 7 straight home wins in Champions League play for Madrid. And let's see here. Sub says he thinks Zagreb could score here, though, in this one. I was hesitant on the total, it feels like, for me. So I'm going to take Madrid here as my play and lay a full goal against Lille. -1 at minus 120-ish, it looks like here. Lille went under in both of their games so far in Champions League play, including that road loss. Madrid did go over in that home win, obviously, right? Like I said, Lille's gone over in both their games. Madrid's gone start over. Lille's gone under in both their Champions League games this season, and Madrid's gone over in both. Okay, I'm getting a little tired here or something on the show. A little steam coming in college football this weekend. West Virginia and Arizona, game total under 55. Steam coming in. West Virginia and Arizona, classic Big 12 matchup, under 55. All right. Sub says, yeah, Madrid to roll here at home. Let's see here. Look what we got. Fernando showed up, and he's got Benfica here and over. I got to tell you, Fernando, I'm going to have a hard time deciding between. Maybe we'll just roll with that because that's what I like too. He likes it over 3.5 in the Benfica game. Let's get to that one here. Well, we got another one here in just a moment. A couple more. Let's take a look at this one here. We already saw Sub. He says he likes the DNB here with Barcelona. I like Barcelona too. I'm willing to take them here, maybe straight up here in this one. Let's see what the handicap is. Oh, yeah, it's virtually a pick 'em. We know that. So I'm willing to take Barcelona here, maybe straight up, but don't mind adding a little DNB in there in this one. Both teams come in 1-1 so far, but Barcelona did win at home. Bayern Munich did lose on the road. So you got Bayern Munich coming in here. They've dominated against Barcelona. They've won 6 straight Champions League matches against Barcelona, but still this one virtually a pick-em here in this one. And let's see here. Barcelona has their games have had at least 3 goals in 9 straight at home, but the total is pretty high here. I still think it's going to go over. I feel like it is. Let's see what the comments are before I give out my play maybe in this one. Here's a Madrid Benfica parlay. Okay. Or sub. Maybe he's considering it anyway. My play here is on the over. This is going to be pretty tough. 3.5. I'm going to take it at 3.5 here in this one as my play. Like I said, I got sub here with the DNB on Barca. So okay, here we go. Next up, Inter is going to take on Young Boys. In this one, you've got Inter, big favorite here on the road, -1.5. And the total here, 3 over 15. There's some college football steam to report to you right now. Utah State taking some action here this weekend at +1. They're probably going to go down here to a pick'em here with Utah State. Checking out my notes here. And that was in the game against Wyoming. Utah State was a 2-point underdog at one point. They might end up a favorite here in this one. All right, Inter taking on Young Boys. Here, Inter a favorite on the road. Let's see. I see a few other plays coming in. And they're betting on the young man there in the game. They're betting on Yamal. How about that? All right. Inter and Young Boys in this one. You got Inter coming in 1-0-1 so far with a road draw of Young Boys 0-2 so far, and they lost at home. But Inter got the money in both games so far this season. Young Boys, meanwhile, they've gone over in both of their games. Inter did go under in their home game. They went over in their road game thus far. So I'm going to take Inter to roll here. Oh, let me see. I'm going to take the over as my play. I think I'm going to give out in the VIP Inter. It feels like actually I'm going to reverse it a little bit. I'm going to go over here in this one with Inter and Young Boys as my play on the show. And I think I'm going to go VIP here with Inter -1.5 on the road against Young Boys. Nothing from you guys maybe here in this one. So usually Young Boys is an underdog, not very good so far from what we've seen here, but all right. And Robert says he's got the BTTS no in this one. Young Boys could give up some goals for sure. I think the object on them is going to be to score. So that's what Sub is kind of saying too, I think, right there. So I'm going to take the over here and hope that at least Inter gets to 3 And then if Young Boys tallies, Inter still wins in a 3-1 exact score line. I'll take 3-1 exact score line. I'll also grab the over here in this one. All right, now here's that Feyenoord Benfica game that Fernando was talking about. I'm right on with Fernando. I don't know if I can add to this. I like Benfica here, minus a goal. I like over here at the 3. So if he's giving it out, maybe I'll just roll with that here. Maybe I'll do a little parlay with Feyenoord and Benfica. Feyenoord here, Feyenoord has been decent as an underdog in these matchups as well for Benfica. They've had their games score at least 3 goals in 5 straight of these matches dating back. So see here, I'm just going to roll with Fernando here. It feels like maybe I'll just do it on the show. Give me Benfica. Give me the over. That's what Fernando was saying, and that's what I had marked here as my plays. So let me go back and find it too. Here, when he put the exact in, Benfica money line, he did go over 2.5. So maybe I should take it down to 2.5 here if I'm going to parlay it up. Make sure we get it right. But he said he also likes 3.5 over. So maybe 3 over is fine. That way, if it's a win and a 3-goal game, you're going to get a payoff still, it feels like, in that one. So, all right. I like that. Fernando's on it. I'm on it. All right, let's get to the last one here with Liverpool taking on Leipzig in this one. You have Liverpool favored on the road. Sub said he liked Liverpool. I like Liverpool here as well against Leipzig. Liverpool is 9-2 on the road in Champions League play in their last 11 games, and Liverpool also has had their games have at least 3 goals in 6 straight games on the road. So feels pretty square. I know Sub said he's on it. I like Sub's play, so I'll just pivot to the total here. And look, Leipzig went over in both their games so far. Liverpool actually did go under in their home game, but I think here it's an over city. I've got the over with Liverpool and Leipzig. So Sub's got Liverpool. I like that, and I'll take Leipzig. So maybe you could team up Sub and I, because, hey, we did it yesterday a couple of times, and that might be the show. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? I don't even have a graphic for it, but good point there. Sub talking about the money here in the Liverpool game, and they were maybe as low as $1.05, but yeah, that's what we're seeing right now. I do see a square book here in Vegas up to $1.20 right now, but the move has been on Leipzig a little bit here, it feels like. Or maybe not. Maybe it's mostly been on the draw, or at least an adjustment to the draw. Okay. Man, I didn't make a graphic here for my Portland-Vancouver game. We did give out, what did we do yesterday in the Major League Soccer playoff? We gave out Montreal. It went to a shootout. They don't play overtime in the wild card game, but it's a 1-game playoff tonight between Portland and Vancouver. In Vancouver, and this one a little bit tough for me, but I'm going to take Portland in this one on the road here to win the wild card game. To advance maybe might be the best play there. Portland is favored in this game on the road at -0.5 here in this one. I will just take Portland to advance to the next round will be my play tonight. I will take the Portland Timbers you ever seen Portland score a goal, I know my guys have, but if you've never seen Portland score a goal, they're on the road here. But at home they got a guy with a big chainsaw, and every time they score, you gotta saw the big log off, and it is loud, man. That's what they do when they celebrate a goal. Everybody has their goal celebration. They take a guy with a big chainsaw and chop up a tree. So, hey, to each his own. Fire up the chainsaw tonight, like Portland, to advance in the wild card game. It's a one-game playoff, played at the higher-seeded team, and the winner goes on to take on the top-rated team. For example, yesterday in that Eastern Conference game, now the winner will take on NYCFC, I believe. Yesterday, Atlanta advanced. I did play the BTTS in the game. Didn't give it out. Didn't tell anybody. Just bet it. Want to tell you I won something. All right, it's going to do it for the show here today on the Morning Steam. Make sure you join me back here tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific for more previews, including Thursday Night Football with the Vikings and the Rams. Feels like a decent game. Rams obviously beat up a little bit. Vikings here, coming off that tough game last week. There's also a couple of college games tomorrow, including action in the ACC with Syracuse and Pittsburgh. Georgia Southern takes on Old Dominion in a closely rated game, and we'll also preview tomorrow NHL card here as well as NBA. So make sure you join me 9 a.m. Eastern and 6 a.m. Pacific time. Don't forget, please follow me over at Winnable. We just gave you 2 hours, hopefully worth of picks from me, from the chat all-stars. Hello, stars. And also, you can follow my picks over at Winnable, my better plays. That's the way I do it. Take my best plays over to winnable.com. Give you my opinions here on these games, certainly, but my best plays. I got a free service over there as well. Let me bring that on screen here. Check me out over at winnable.com and use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off the packages over there. It's really just 67 cents per day if you'd like to get some more picks from me. Pretty much get my opinion on some of the best games that I didn't make a pick on here, but it is my stronger picks. So when you subscribe over at Winnable, just $20 a month, you're helping me buy a new HP computer so we can stop this noise. Like that. And also, you'll get some great plays from me. You can also sign up for the free package over there, and I'll send more plays out there. That's where we sent out that killer card yesterday with the VIP plays in soccer, and we made a nice comeback here in tennis this morning. We're going to try to even it up here with Nakashima, who won the first set 6-4, but Tommy Paul is coming back a little bit here. We're on serve though, no breaks yet in the second set, so maybe we'll be okay after all. But check me out over at Winnable. Click that QR code. If you subscribe, you get my email. You can bother me there. Here, you don't have to come into a public chat. Really, you can feedback me there, especially there. For anybody having any problems, let me help you with that if there really is a problem there. So thank you guys on that. You can set your notifications for my plays there on Winnable, and I send those out. So there's a great question. Thank you to Julian D here. Send those plays out. Usually try to do it 2 hours before the big card, but sometimes a little bit later. Try to wait for the best information, but send those out usually in a pretty timely fashion within 2 hours of the main card beginning for an individual sport. The VIP, a little bit tighter window there. Free picks, and send those at 1 hour or a little bit longer on those. But we're changing it up a little bit, just seeing what works for everybody. We just started this a few weeks ago. Remember, I used to sell my picks for $25, $35, $45. over at another site, and that was good business for Ramon Scott, man. We bought a lot of nice computers with that, but I've reduced that price to just pennies on the dollar because I want to be a man of the people. I want to be your handicapper here every morning on the Morning Steam. First on YouTube with the previews every day here, going over the lines, and of course those Steam moves. So thanks everybody for great support from you guys, and thanks to Mikey Money for coming, letting me do my little infomercial here, because I'm all about that tout life. I ain't ever gonna stop making plays here on YouTube, and yeah, we might be charging a few cents for a few plays too. Thanks everybody, appreciate you so much for joining me here on the Morning Steam. Great job, chat, all stars for the sports money. Oh, join Mikey Money. I told Mike I need a list of the programming. Join Mikey Money, though. We know that program for sure. 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific today. They'll also have First Strike coming up here. Also with the big previews of the UFC action this weekend from Abu Dhabi. Remember, it starts early on Saturday this week with the action coming from Abu Dhabi. And that main event as well with Topuria, with Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway. That's going to be a doozy, but also you got Chimaev and Whitaker here. It's a nice card, and you've got a little Magomedov action going. The guy with one Abus is going. The guy with one eye is going. So it'll be a fun card, and I have my previews up as well. Check those out on YouTube with BB MMA picks. Here I previewed the main event fight with him and with my man Dagestan Poppy. You know, whenever we have the Magomedovs fighting, we've got to bring on Dagestan Poppy to give us the insight. Here we previewed the Sheriff fight against Petrosian and also the Rebetsky fight against Orlabai. So also check out our First Strike guys as well. They'll give you their best bets. First Strike. It's such a great format. You know, the four guys come in and make their case for their big play, and man, you can parlay those up together, man, when they're hot. Maybe do a little round robin. That way 3-1 comes in, you're looking good. Don't forget to join their live programming this weekend for that card. I'll be in the chat there a little bit. I will be in the chat for that as well. All right, that's it for the Sports Money Network. I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Can't escape from the team called the Morning Steam. It's time to break one for cover. That's gonna cover, that's gonna cash. Then we make the 100-yard dash to the window. I don't know what you thought. It's Ramon Scott running so hot. Sports make money and we make money with sports money every single day. NFL, NHL, NCAA. Stay away from the juice, we might play a parlay. It's the Morning Steam. What? Ramon Scott. Sports money. What? Wake your ass up and let's get to the money. Get to the money.